Game 3 of a series. Gonna hit up that game very soon. But time to talk about the two teams a little bit first. VGJ.Thunder, FlyToMoon. It is 1-1 here at the StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational, Season 5, by the way. And we've seen both teams win. You know, it's been nice and easy here with Gods and Tsunami. I mean, both teams surely have a chance here.
Everyone's happy.
Everybody's a winner.
I don't believe in that. I want a capitalist winner-take-all mentality. I don't want participation ribbons. I want dominance.
All right, so Game 3 is perfect for you.
I don't know. I'm going to have to see the draft. I'm not going to make any predictions.
All right.
No. I realize you're fitting right in. You know, look at every analyst panel. Getting predictions wrong is a staple.
That's true, actually.
That is actually the staple for being on a
in my mind, like whenever I was just a lowly Twitch chat viewer, I was just like, if I ever make it to an event, I'm going to bring a coin, and I'm going to let the coin do all my predictions.
Where is your coin?
I know. I forgot. I should have done it. I'll do it tomorrow.
All right.
Because I'm pretty sure I would have a better win rate with a coin than I do my brain.
We can make that happen.
Okay.
We'll
a fourth panel member.
Yeah.
The quarter over here is just gonna offer his input.
It's like we should have an animal. You know, it's like with the octopus at the World Cup.
Oh
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, we should have our own animal. I'm not voting for an octopus though. Like rather have a cat or a dog.
Wasn't there a bear at one Russian land one time?
Yes.
All right, I'll have a bear cub. That's cute.
Okay.
Virtus Po representative.
Panda, you know, make it happen. That would be actually quite funny. It would be interesting to see how that plays out. But Game 3, we're gonna have to see what these teams have in store for each other because FlyToMoon fell very flat in that second game.
It didn't feel like their kind of draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they will not get that. So far, Tiny has been losing all the games, by the way. So
True.
If that is the curse here, then VGJ.Thunder.
It's been losing, but it's been having an impact. So I think that's why teams keep going back to its first pick. It never is like the Tiny's fault. The hero always does well in its lane and then gets pretty good item timings and has an impact. So I think you look at last game, the Tiny was the one hero that did well on FlyToMoon. If you go back to game 1, Silo was the kind of big playmaker. So can't really blame him for that. The big adjustment here is the Death Prophet ban. So I think FlyToMoon recognizes that this is the hero that can cause some problems. It punishes mistakes too hard, and that's just not going to be something they want to deal with.
Yeah, the AA solution was not worthwhile because, I mean, they first picked Death Prophet, so you had all the time in the world to deal with it, but they go back to Comfort, always want to fly Rubik, 100% win rate.
Why is Tiny always picked on the Radiant side? I feel like he blends in so well with the environment. Sometimes it looks like there's not a pick at all.
Just a tree standing there.
Just a tree. But it's
I don't think
Radiant
there's
side.
a connection between Tiny and Radiant.
No?
I think the biggest connection between Hero and Side is Underlord Radiant, which Kyle was stressing very much during DIC.
For the Roche?
Yeah, for the Roche.
We have the same opening as we had in game 1.
Well, reversed. They had gotten a ban first. But I think it was both back-to-back picks.
Yeah.
And game 1, they had Willow, then the Tiny, was it?
Right.
Yeah. So. We don't have a Treant this game, though, because they still stuck with their bans for VGJ.Thunder, and we did see Treant being a deciding factor for FlyToMoon in the first game. Is there any hero that could replace the Treant?
So they went for Nyx Assassin, which was like fulfilling the role of Invis Roamer, but in a way worse capacity. They can go for Bounty Hunter. No, never mind, it was banned. So yeah, these Invis heroes are just getting hemmed out.
You don't want to pick Ricky, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no.
That's a garbage hero.
Yeah, in terms, I mean, I don't think they need to go for an Invis hero again. I mean, they give No Fear a lot of Elder Titan, which I think is a hero that hasn't really been, well, obviously hasn't been seen in this series, but has been underutilized even towards the tail end of DAC.
I think just focus more on getting those deep wards down, because like having the tree and all that's nice when you can go for those deep scouting missions, but if you can't get those deep wards down, then can't get that deep vision down, get down some deep wards instead. Lion, just safe lane, Secura, Mana Drain versus Abaddon can at least make dealing with them in lane a little bit better. And a very much a comfort pick for DDC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, I'm not advocating the Blink Dagger, though. Hopefully he doesn't have to go for it. So give some other more, some other hero that comes earlier online for Fade rather than the Willow.
He plays the Elder Titan as well if they want to consider that. So yeah, ET, Kunkka again.
Yeah, Kunkka again.
Strong possibilities.
So you basically want a different initiator, right?
Right.
And Tiny couldn't fulfill that role?
I mean, I think they have Tiny, but you want to have more than that. That was one of the big weaknesses in Game 1 for VGJs. They had this Tiny to go in, and neither of their other cores. They had a 3 and a 4 position who both had 0 initiation. It was Doom and Willow. That was a big problem for them, so I think you don't want your carry to be your lone initiator.
I think Earth Spirit could be pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I know
we haven't seen him.
Fade plays it quite a bit.
I like it a lot against Abaddon, just having that. If you get him with the silence,
it's amazing.
Or in the early game, you can actually just kill him, rolling bullet in, and it just feels really nice to play. Doesn't give any spells to Rubik.
Allows you to rotate as aggressively as we saw Fate do on the quick as well.
Which was definitely one of the recipes for their success, as we overrode the machine. The machine doesn't respect roaming. It only likes farming.
Lycan ban, Sylar's probably quintessential Sylar hero. And we'll see what that leaves them with. The Lycan, the Death Prophet, the Razor, those are some of those just like classic, not so flashy or exciting to watch, but staple VGJ heroes that win them games.
Yeah, same with Gyro also, which they banned out.
Yes. So
Terrorblade is still lingering, but usually Nullfield is not enough of an incentive to go for a Terrorblade.
As is Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Dragon Knight hasn't been seen at all, which is weird.
Yeah, a bit surprising, I would say. Something that both teams could definitely consider here. Not really,
Iceberg only begrudgingly plays it. They did play it every once in a while in the qualifier, but I could tell that inside he was like, "Let me play a real hero."
Yeah. Put it on the safe lane. Give it to Sylar. He can just solo the safe lane.
Right.
What needs to happen for FlyToMoon to go for an Enchantress?
Ooh.
I think it's too late. There's too much magic damage already on VGJ.Thunder. It's so stressful to have to play Enchantress against that much burst.
I think the straight up 4-position jungling Enchantress doesn't work all too well. It's more in that 3-position role now, and Tiny Lion.
Sand King hasn't been picked in either of these games, which is also weird.
That's a bit surprising, yeah. You
say that. Speak of the devil.
There you go.
Yeah, I think going back to stable, standard picks, I mean, the Treant's kind of like their more gimmicky 4-position, but they feel really good with, but it's being banned, so it's like, well.
And we had mentioned in the previous panel about how Sand King and Nyx kind of fulfill the same role, where it's like, stay off the map, cause stress for the enemy team.
And now you're doing it from a 4-position rather than a previous game. Well, previous game was actually also 4-position.
Yeah,
they just profit their 3.
Sand King offers more in like a off-lane or a dual lane position, unless if it's dual mid. But No Fear didn't play at dual mid in the previous game with the Nyx Assassin.
We'll see what VGJ get. Maybe just the 4-position or something. Don't reveal any more about where Tiny's going.
Yeah. I think Earth Spirit is still pretty solid.
Or if there's a carry they want, and to also maybe deny Silence pick.
Well, they've already banned out Gyro and Lifestealer, and then FlyToMoon banned out Lycan, which they picked last time.
The carry pool is shrinking a lot, which
for
is
sure. It's really just like Terrorblade and DK, I guess. And I think VGJ.Thunder have that pocket PA that they pick every once in a while for Sylar.
The Tiny may just be going into that safe lane once.
Yeah, probably.
That would be the case.
So DDC for sure. I'm pretty sure.
On Nature's Prophet.
Yeah,
they got Lion though.
I know, but for some reason they always run it on DDC.
Will Fade play Lion? That seems.
Would Jack play Nature's Prophet?
That's true. They could give it to offlane.
It feels like the DDCs, like the Lion just has to be a 5. Like this hero does not fit any other role.
Maybe if you get a super fast Blink Dagger still.
Tsunami, you think of the mid-Lion?
No, not mid-Lion.
I'm not a fan of mid-Lion.
Could do like a cheeky orb of venom or something like that.
Yeah. 3-minute cooldown figure does not make this hero a core.
No. But I would be okay with a Fade Lion, but we'll see. I mean, historically, their DDC Nature's Prophet has like a 0% win rate, and so in general they have just not been successful with the hero.
Okay.
But they could give it to Yang.
Yeah.
It's interesting they pick it here because it doesn't. I mean, it's pretty good against the Rubik support because that's a hero that does not deal with Treants, and you're probably expecting the dual lanes from FlyToMoon as they typically run, the Sand King with the Ab at bottom, the Rubik +1. So I think the idea is you can punish that off lane and give Nature's Prophet a really good start. Last game we saw Nature's Prophet get bullied, and that's where I feel like FlyToMoon may want to take a page from VGJ, which is, look, yeah, you normally like to run dual lanes, but send Sand King to your safe lane. Make sure you punish Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and give some self-sufficient core that doesn't need help, like DK to Silent.
Yeah, no Gyrocopter for him. Gyrocopter Lifestealer, his 2, I think, most played heroes.
Yeah.
Did they bust out the Sven? Sven, you're against 2 melee core and Tiny and a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
He
like
plays-
Winter said, it's just not like
It's
a
not a
strong
popular
hero.
hero, yeah. And we said in the previous game it's just not that great. Oh, it's that
Hey,
Wraith King.
is that
Yeah,
right?
so I had mentioned that in game 1. It's one of the few, like, we'll see support Wraith King on Secret, but they'll play anything.
And
But-
he played on Fnatic sometimes as a
right.
carry.
Yeah, but it's not popular.
I think he stopped picking. I think he lost a few games, but I think he just started realizing it's kind of crap. Oh, okay, that's not a good hero to be against for your Wraith King.
So it is a DDC Nature's Prophet then, right?
Looks like it. Looks
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, maybe Fade DDC just kind of swap the roles a bit, or who knows what they do.
Well, I
Unless we
mean,
go back to the old school carry.
You had
Nature's
mentioned
Prophet.
that the FlyToMoon squad is not good at dealing with treants, so really what more do you need from a support? Just spawn a few treants, send it at a bat, and what is he going to do about
Sand
it?
King can deal with the treants.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then if you've already forced FlyToMoon to commit to a tri-lane, then Nature's Prophet has done his job.
I think the really scary thing about this lane is the level 1 Gush on Tide. That low mana cost, you can spam it pretty well, and that minus armor plus slow with treants is going to really hurt a Rubik or a Wraith King. So I'd expect to see those kind of 2 heroes to be paired up together, and possibly even go for a full-on aggro tri-lane if you want to. Tide has actually gotten, I think, people have realized you don't have to run him as that like solo offlane and give him XP and try hope he gets farm. You can actually just tri-lane him.
But if they do want to make him sacrificial, you could totally go for an anti-mage pick on VGJ.Thunder, because they banned out Phantom Lancer. I'm not
okay, yeah, the
advocating
PF.
it, but I'm saying it could happen, because there's like minimal lockdown on FlyToMoon.
Yeah. And there's no physical damage to kill an
Right,
anti-mage.
exactly.
Really. Wraith King is not like the best physical damage when he's getting kited. If he's getting kited, that is, and that's what AM will do with a blink.
Yeah.
D-ban. What is the Iceberg last pick going to be?
It'll depend on this 9th pick from VGJ.Thunder.
The big thing with Wraith King is you always want to have a good, strong scaling mid. This
Yeah.
hero does not carry, doesn't hit buildings, gets kited, has the amazing utility of reincarnation. That's the great thing about this hero. He can blink in or run in, he tanks a bunch of spells, he then respawns and has a second life, and can do some good damage because he's got farm and all that, but you have to have a second carry coming out of the mid lane.
For sure.
Or, I mean, Abaddon with Radiance can theoretically fill that a bit too.
Yeah, well, I think one of these 2 heroes are going to need to get a Radiance. Okay, so Terrorblade was one of the other cores that did not get banned out of the other like 6 bans.
And this is where last pick you I think approach countering TB. The Zeus.
Zeus?
Is
Yeah.
this the Zeus
Iceberg
game?
Zeus. You never know.
They can go back
Shadow
to the
Fiend.
Lina, perhaps?
Going back to Lina sounds pretty good. There's the Tiny to jump him, but that's not, I think, enough to stop you from picking a Lina. But
No, they did it last game as well, or first game as well.
Shadow Fiend and Quap being the other 2.
Oh, Zeus it is.
Oh boy, that's... Now we're talking. This is a fun team to watch and see
Right?
online.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, Wraith King Zeus. Let's go. That's something a bit different and fun.
As cores.
But
Because Secret is too busy doing like Yap Sword, Zeus,
yeah.
and Puppy, Wraith King, but no, I want to see these heroes do some damage.
the mid Zeus, carry Wraith King, like, yeah, this is fun.
All right.
But VGJ are going to win too.
Fun doesn't win games. I mean, as a spectator, I love it, but if you're trying to win points, no, you don't do that kind of stuff.
There's fun and there's winning, I guess. So yeah, in terms of predictions, Gods, you mentioned VGJ.Thunder. Is it you setting that?
Yeah, I'll stay with VGJ. I think their draft is still better. I'm not a believer in Wraith King.
So far, you've been on point.
So far, so that probably ends very soon.
So should I sabotage you then, or should I stay the course of being 0%?
I mean, you go wherever you want. Your predictions have been debunked, so you're free to go whichever way. I have to go with VGJ.
Yeah, there's pressure on you.
Yeah.
I'll go with FlyToMoon, just because I want to see a Zeus do well.
Wraith King Zeus.
Yeah, I want to see the season finale of the Iceberg Show.
Season finale of the Iceberg Show. I'm going for let's go for FlyToMoon as well.
Nice.
Have some Zeus action there, but it's not up to us. We're not the deciding factor here. It is up to the teams to perform. So over to ODPixel and Winter for Game 3.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, Game 3 now, the deciding game between these 2 teams, VGJ.Thunder and FlyToMoon. We've got a Zeus and a Wraith King. Again, sort of a different combo of cores being thrown into the mix by FlyToMoon. Is it a good game for a Zeus and a Wraith King, Winter?
Zeus against Terrorblade. I think that's pretty much the idea behind the pick here against the Illusion hero, but Zeus is generally not picked because of a lot of reasons. In the current meta, it's very easy to gank, very easy to kill, and he doesn't like playing against all this, like, say, tanky heroes that are being picked a lot because they just dive you and you just like you have to run away.
Yeah.
But I can see him working here. But he's up against a Tiny, which is pretty annoying for him because you die easily in the combo. But he has like the Abaddon and Wraith King to give him cover.
Sure, yeah, he's at least got, as you say, some sort of cause around him that can
playing
off
not
people going
not only the Tiny, but there's a Furion TPing in. It's going to be like one of those games. If the Zeus somehow manages to get past the early game, he doesn't die too much, then he goes into the mid game really, really strong against those heroes. But I kind of expect him to maybe at least die like once or twice in the early game. He's just like so easy to kill,
So I mean, overall, you would sort of prefer the safety of VGJ.Thunder's lineup with the.
I think the gimmick on FlyToMoon, I'm not a fan of it, but it might work because VGJ.Thunder has been really shaky. Like the last game was much better, but they seem like they are quite unsure about what they want to do because they like across all the 3 games they have like really different like priorities, and maybe they're trying things out because they didn't even prioritize picking Prophet. They didn't ban the Prophet, and suddenly in this game they're picking Prophet. So we'll see. Technically, they are the much better team, I would say.
Yeah. Well, we did indeed see in Game 2 quite a dominating performance by VGJ.Thunder, but of course Game 1, FlyToMoon were able to take it and did certainly manage to show us quite a performance with a bit of a different draft. And yet again in Game 3, this is what they've gone for. They've got this Wraith King, a hero that maybe VGJ.Thunder aren't too used to playing against as of late, and we may see some smart strats come out from FlyToMoon in that sense.
But what's the Wraith King gonna do here?
I mean, maybe they'll forget that he's got 2 lives. You never know. These little things.
Jeez,
you never know.
They forget that he has 2 lives.
They forget that he has
and Aegis
2 actives technically with the toggle.
Well, I would say his active.
These are things you gotta watch out for.
His summon skeleton. That's the Mortal Strike. That's actually really, really good at farming.
Yeah, we may see the Crystallis build. What do you think about the Crystallis build?
Yeah, I actually like I like.
You actually like the Crystallis build?
Yeah,
the Crystallis and push build.
Yeah, I think that build is really good.
Nah, is it actually?
It is good.
Unironically good.
You farm a lot faster. Yeah.
Sure.
I've seen it.
But do you really farm faster than getting more orthodox items? I mean,
yeah, but
it's a crystal.
But the hero like strives in getting cheap items you want to fight early. That's why I think the items suits him. But obviously not like rushing it.
Okay.
You might want to get like a.
I've seen somewhere down the line
armlet. I've seen armlets. I've seen blade mails. I've seen. I don't like rushing dagger unless you have like another core in the team, which they don't really have right now because it's a Zeus mid.
No, there's a lot on this Wraith King.
Yeah, the Wraith King has to be like a really strong carry. So probably not. Maybe you'll see an armlet.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly the more likely item to start the build with. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So Game 3, VGJ.Thunder against FlyToMoon.
Okay, this Prophet is going to be with the Tide. So that's definitely a very scary lane because with the early point in Gush, usually you see Tides, like if you are in this kind of dual lane situation, you'll skill like 1 point in the Gush early. And he does have the Blightstone on the Prophet. So that's going to mean that they're going to be able to deal a lot of damage just with 1 spell. And he goes for the Mortal Strike at level 1. Huh. Fairly interesting.
I mean, it's
for the summons, I guess, for the treants.
Well, I guess that's what it is, isn't it? If you get it early on, it's you're sort of seeing the lane, and maybe you're asking yourself, well, with a stun, are you actually going to get a kill? You might as well start building up the charges.
But once they notice that the Wraith King, once they go to the lane,
when they see him critting,
and then they're just going to dive them. Yeah, because he has no way of defending himself or the Rubik.
Or maybe he skills it, and then he just hopes to the RNGs that he doesn't get a crit. He's like, please don't crit, otherwise they're gonna know.
Then why bother skilling?
He likes to dance with death. This is the full sort of YOLO build. We'll see. We'll see if he's getting any crits up there.
Okay, so Zeus against Terrible at mid. I think this is really favorable for.
I mean, this has got to be the dream for Zeus.
For Zeus, like Zeus doesn't worry about dying in this lane.
I mean, why is this?
Why would they not have the TB here and the tiny mid?
I mean, do you think were they putting the TB mid trying to dodge the Zeus? Because they thought the Zeus would be put aggressively against the Terrorblade?
I don't know, that's weird. Maybe they felt like...
it's a little weird, isn't it?
Maybe they felt like the TB would get pressured by the Baden. Because once the meta is done, the Baden can just right-click you and pressure you. So they felt like Tiny could have a better time against that kind of pressure.
Sure, and maybe they did sort of want to prioritize just getting the quick blink on the Tiny, and you know they're sort of saying, well, as long as we can get a good timing on the blink, we can always make space to open up the game for this Terrorblade to recover from a bad lane.
And whoever goes mid is going to farm anyway against the Zeus. The Zeus kind of lane is like a 50-50. I farm, you farm, I farm, you farm.
I mean, that's the thing. So far, you know, Sylar, he's loving the lane there with that first use of Metamorphosis. He's got 10 CS against the Zeus's 8. We'll certainly see how things change up once the levels do start to come in for Iceberg Zeus, but at the moment, it's all good.
Very interesting, yeah. I was expecting oh, never mind. Top lane, they're going to go on to the Prophet here. He does a TP on No Fear. He has a stun, so Fate probably going to go down here. Pops his Fairy Fire, but that's not going to change, I think.
The question is if they can get Yang as well, and it looks like the answer will be no. Just a little too beefy on the tide, but still. FlyToMoon claiming themselves first blood, getting the gold into Silent's pockets, which he did need it, was suffering in the CS on this Wraith King top.
Yep. I was very surprised that he's playing the TB though, I was mentioning before that. I kind of expected him to be on a Tiny, because he's like more like the momentum leading core, you know, on this team, and Freeze tends to be on the hero that farms a lot, but we'll see how it works out this game so far. And No Fear gonna come from behind here, might be able to set up a stun onto one of the heroes. But gonna get spotted out here. They get to live on the tide. He has no points in Kraken yet, so he's still like quite easy to kill. He has to be careful with his positioning.
I guess the plus side for him though is mostly right clicks going to be coming out for Silent, so each and every time it'll be Anchor Smash, so there will be that damage reduction in play.
Yeah, that's the thing about Wraith King as well against Tide.
Yeah.
Like, the Anchor Smash is just gonna reduce your damage so much in the fight. So even in the lane, look at him, he's getting bullied in the lane. The Gush, early point in Gush there, with the Blightstone. This is not a lane you want to be in as Wraith King. He's gonna constantly need 3 heroes in the lane to make sure that he farms, but then he's not like gonna like it because the other lanes might get bullied. Like, Sand might be needed elsewhere, you know. That's why it's very rare that you see teams having 3 heroes on a lane nowadays. Sometimes it does happen if you're protecting like a super carry, like an AM or Morphling kind of hero. But Wraith King is not that kind of hero.
This is a lot of painful time indeed for Silent to be out of the lane. Only 9 CS so far on their safe lane. Wraith King, a very slow start for FlyToMoon.
Yep, this is not looking good. Off lane, Abaddon is 9 CS as well. Not the greatest of start. I mean, he's been left alone, so you kind of expect the Abaddon to...
Oh no, an Iceberg. He wanted to come down to look for the rune, but DDC was there to take the arcade and to set up for the right clicks, but the uphill miss is actually going to be enough to save Iceberg. With the arcane though, DDC is going to have to stun back up. He's going to look towards Fizz and absolutely top tier body blocking indeed with those Treants, and they'll get the kill off the back of that.
Very well done there by Fate on the Treants there. Good micro there, securing his team the kill. Would have been perfect if they killed the Zeus as well, but the uphill miss, so...
I mean, I guess it still sort of works in the sense that they keep an Iceberg out of the lane for a long time. You know, he sort of has to play around with that and make that walk back to base. They want to try and get one of these two. They do get the grab onto DDC, but a quick hex back onto the Abaddon will hold back Non Grata as Freeze. DDC will be able to disengage. But yeah, as we can see off the back of the lane so far, 5 minutes in, 2k lead and Silent.
This Wraith King doesn't want to play Dota right now. This is so difficult for him. There's not much he can do in this kind of situation. It sucks to be him. Tide is like owning him in the lane. He is gonna have to rely on the Zeus or the Abaddon.
Oh, they're looking to dive in here with Yang. Mangoes, pops an extra Gush. Silent will try and slow down the right clicks as he stuns up Fade. But again, this is Silent having to make the potential walk back to base, or at least towards the shrine.
Yeah, it's gonna have a medallion really soon on Fate. This is like, sometimes you would even say like walking back like this is worse than dying, you know?
I think absolutely, absolutely.
You're wasting so much time.
Sure, so yeah, you know, as Thunder, you're not really getting the gold or XP benefit, but the chances you're given from the fact that
this has to work.
Akora has nothing.
From FlyToMoon. They have to make this work.
I'll see, it is on to Joy, just a lone tide. So they've got 4 heroes for this. They should have a good shot at it. Yang does only have a few charges in the one, so will not be nearly enough to save him, as they will get the kill. They'll get the pick off on Yang.
Huh. The lane was like vacated by the Zeus for quite some time. I thought like VGJ.Thunder might have been able to sniff the rotation, even though they don't have wards, but right now they're going to pressure the mid tier one. There's a siege creep, and they pop the Metamorphosis with the Treant, so more likely that this tower is just going to go down.
Don't always want to fly. He stepped back in a little too close as DDC comes in with a wraparound through the tree line. As they take the kill, and they take the tower.
Oh, this game is just snowballing out of control. Like, this is what you want to see when you pick Prophet. You're winning one lane, then you TP to another lane, and you win the other lane, and then when the siege creep spawns at 5 minutes and 10 minutes, you're taking towers and towers and towers. Ideally, at 10 minutes, you're at least 2 towers down, 2 towers up as the Prophet team, which is very likely to happen. They might even be 3 towers up by 10 minutes. Judging by how the game is panning out right now.
Oh, it's DDC. He's found the wraparound onto Always Want to Fly there. The medallion down onto him. One more tree throw. It's enough. Another kill for VGJ.Thunder as DDC finding the openings here.
This game might be a really quick one, Owen. By the look of things. FlyToMoon, they have to use the Zeus right now to win a fight or do something with him. He is the strongest hero on his team right now. And none of the other cores are doing well. The Baron is lacking in terms of farm and XP.
And up top.
Wraith King doesn't do anything at all right now. He is just a walking creep.
Well, see, he's in the looking towards the jungle at the moment, silent. Just hoping for those crits. Get those insta-kills on the creeps. There they go. Get the skeleton army built up. Freeze. He wants this, and with that avalanche, he's not going to get it. Telekinesis from Always Want to Fly comes in. Freeze with a toss back. He's running himself away from these 3, but they've got the chase down. Thunder God's Wrath comes out from Iceberg, and they are able to put an end to Freeze's life on Tiny.
Yep, quite a big kill there on the Tiny. On the other hand, even though they get the kill, look at what VGJ.Thunder is doing. They're pushing out the top lane, they're shuffling out the mid lane. They're still getting something when you're getting the kill on the Tiny. So it's not like a really, really bad loss for them at all, even though they lost a core.
I mean, and does it sort of surprise you as well that this Terrablade's done so well? Sylar after being in a lane against a Zeus. Like, should this have happened, or?
Not really, though. I think this is what you get against a Zeus. Zeus is gonna farm, you're gonna farm.
So you're not really under any sort of threat, really, against a Zeus, you don't feel?
Not really, though.
No.
Unless there's like a rotation.
Sure. It's more just the case when we're seeing what Zeus is against a safe lane Terrorblade when there's been another hero with the Zeus.
But I would say they would not be worried about the rotations if they play their lineup correctly, because they have the Prophet, a hero that pressures the enemy heavily in the laning phase itself. So generally the opponents will be reacting the Prophet. And here we go, another Prophet TPing in.
Innocent TPs from FlyToMoon though. They want to try and strike back. They get the stun on DC. Oh, that's Thunder Sylar!
Okay.
He says, "Lion, I'm saving you, sir." And he does. That's straight up. Gives that extra chance to fight back. The Ravage comes through from Yang as they're taken down the Sand King. Iceberg's being chased down. That final right click from DDC not quite enough as the bottle charges will keep Iceberg alive. Fade goes for the sail, Sprout and TP out, but he won't make it. Silent does get the kill onto the Nature's Prophet.
I think that was a bad Thunder, if you ask me. His team would have been able to fight there if Terrorblade was healthy, because they had the Ravage. It was like kind of like, oh, he saved his team, but on the grand scheme of things, that wasn't good for you.
Yeah, you'd rather, as you say, let the Lion go, keep yourself full health so you can actually play a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he could actually kill them if he had health. So that didn't work out for Sylar. It's like one of those things, you're trying to do more, but because of that move, you did less instead of like going for the standard play. Happens.
I mean, I'm sure, we can blame DDC for that one. He was saying, if you don't sunder me right now, Sylar.
Typical carry, man. Blame the supports all the time.
I'm telling DDC was making that call. he didn't even say anything. He just stared at Sylar. He was like, I know you've got sunder.
No, not stare. Ping.
He pinged.
Ping, ping. You know the ping language?
I don't. No, please explain it to me. I mean, at the high-level pubs, I'm sure there's sort of different collections of pinging that means different things.
Yeah, I can tell you about it. Like one ping, if you ping,
Yep.
ping, it means look here.
Okay.
Ping, ping, I need help.
Okay.
That's 2 pings.
What about
If 3 is like ping, 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 it means
Yep.
get the fuck over
Oh,
here. What are
shit.
you doing?
What about if there's 4? Well, I don't want to know that, do I? You'll have to tell me that one after we come off stream. That's indeed the in-depth analysis of pub pinging. I mean, would you say is pinging sort of got a bit of a different tone to it when you are in a professional game, or does it stay pretty similar?
I mean, it stays pretty
It
similar.
stays pretty similar.
But generally, you don't see the triple ping
no,
or anything more.
unless it's sort of you want it to be your last game with the team. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can put it that way.
Yeah. Rumor has it Ohio is still pinging. Feels bad, man.
Well, so right now, state of the game, VGJ.Thunder in full control of all the lanes right now. They're pushing out everywhere. They have deep walls in the enemy jungle. They have Ravage back up fairly soon, like 3 seconds. So they should be able to force the issue here if they want to. Metamorphosis is up. So with the Ravage plus Metamorphosis, and Tiny has his Shadow Blade, I believe. Yeah, he has enough gold. So they are hitting all their timings. They should be able to get whatever they want. A tower or a Roshan, anything. Or even defend the tower. I guess when you're winning, you don't want to go for towers first. You want to defend your towers because the enemy can't fight you. You can defend your tower and go for their towers after that. You don't give anything away when you're winning. No quarter given. And DDC,
No.
is he going to be at the
He's
the
in trouble. He went in. I mean, I don't know where the backup was.
I mean,
He's blaming his team for that one. He said team.
to his defense, he had a Prophet on his team. So-
Okay, so he's blaming the Prophet for that. He's checking the cooldown on that TP on Prophet. Says, you had it available. Mid lane silent. Is going to lose the ult there as Breeze is able to bring him down once. TP comes through from the Prophet. And he will be able to walk the soft turns with the dust onto No Fear.
Where's the backup? Where is the backup?
TP's coming in from DDC as he is back up. They've got the toss on the side. Oh, look at that finger, DDC. He says, I'm back. And he'll get the kill, and now it's Sylar.
Okay, GG.
Oh dear, oh dear. Ravage comes in, catches the 2 of them. They've lost a couple more. Double kill for Sylar. 3 dead on FlyToMoon.
Everyone is dead right now, so tower is probably going to go down. That's like 20 seconds of time. Enough for a Metamorph Terrorblade to mow down this tower. How are they going to come back into this game?
It looks a little rough indeed. 7k, and indeed with the tower going, it'll be more like 8k advantage at 13 minutes in.
They need a blink on Sand King.
9k in fact. Wow.
They need a blink on Sand King, Owen. They need a blink on Wraith King. And
What are they closest to?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think they're closer to losing than closer to getting daggers.
Well, you never know. It's a game of Dota 2. Some crazy things can happen.
Yeah, I mean, Tide has a pipe right now. How do they kill heroes? He has a pipe. Zeus is not going to do much. I mean, okay, pop his pipe.
Oh, let's see what they can do. They are trying for Yang.
They're just giving him a massage, Owen.
It certainly looks like it.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to massage a Tide Hunter, would you? It wouldn't be. Imagine what his skin's all like. It's just all slimy and fishy.
He has really hard skills, I guess. Kraken Shell.
I mean, yeah. Do you imagine he's like slimy, or do you think he's quite rough? I mean, as you say, if he's got Kraken Shell.
I would say Slada looks not slimy.
Okay.
Tide looks hard.
Come on, Winter. This is a professional game of Dota 2, as Non-Grado is just about to find out. And in fact, no, he's not. They'll look for always want to fly instead. They'll take the Rubik. They'll turn Non-Grado into temporary frog. Trees are out. And FlyToMoon's back up to the high ground. They'll back away. Sylar gets the space for another tier 2 tower.
Defend the tower, guys. No tower shall go down.
It's not called Defense of the Towers, Winter. It's called Defense of the Ancient.
I mean, is the Ancient under any threat right now, Owen? He's like,
Wow, I mean, it soon will be.
You gotta get through the towers first.
This is true. What is it the Ancient actually does? Do you know, are you an expert on the lore, Winter? You used to play the old Dota, It's sort of what gives life to the team?
Yeah, that's the Tree of Life.
It's okay.
That's the Sentinel. And the Dire is like what, Lord Sauron? Because you see the burning thing in the...
Sauron? Is there some sort of Lord of the Rings influence here? In Dota 2? I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, why not?
The first Dota was out before the Fellowship was written, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was out way before that.
No, it was. What the? Come on, let's see. We've got to have our historical facts be accurate here. Oh, there we go.
You're the one asking the questions. You should know.
That was a test, and you failed, Winter. Oh.
I didn't have time to prepare for the test.
Here we go. Silent did not have time to prepare for this, as he has not got nearly enough items to withstand that sort of a kill from VGJ.Thunder. Is now ready for another tier 2 tower. FlyToMoon constantly getting pressure back into base and still just unable to break any of their cores ahead of the 3 cores of VGJ.Thunder as Freeze. Goes towards mid. Time is borrowed. The Abaddon gets thrown back into the hands of DDC, and he's ready to give him the Finger Blaster 3000. Oh, he doesn't even do it. He's saving it. He says, you don't even deserve it.
I know you would have cast that.
I would have gone with the Finger, absolutely. But DDC, a true team player, does not want to kill Secure from his teammates.
Oh, so you're actually admitting you're not a team player right now, yeah?
I'm not. I mean,
you have never been a team player.
Dota is a solo player game.
Wow.
I mean, it has become, after the list of people that don't want to queue me is getting bigger and bigger every game.
Surely you won't get...
Shout out to all the solo players out there.
Surely you won't get worse than Jack, you know?
What? Don't flame Jack. Jack is a manager of an outstanding organization. They're talking about outstanding. Yang.
That was an outstanding Ravage.
It really was. Yang was straight in with the 4-man Ravage, and FlyToMoon lose 3. 4.
And if you count the Abaddon that died a minute ago, 5?
What? I mean, if you want to count everyone else that's died, it's been 16. But I'm not going to bring back up that number every time someone dies. There's non grata. You're a smart man. What does non grata mean? It sounds Latin. Is it? Do you know what it means?
No, I'm not. I'm not a language expert. I know what pomegranate means.
Oh, you're pretty smart though. You know what pomegranate means? What's this got to do with pomegranate?
Never mind.
That doesn't make any sense.
So Roshan is down. Do they have the daggers finally? Okay, they're gonna have 1 dagger.
Always want to fly. Oh, he's got backup.
Sand King has dagger soon. And the tides will turn. Just kidding.
They got an arcane room for the tiny. Freeze. Ready to play around with FlyToMoon if he gets his hands on them. Still just level 10 on Silence Wraith King. And indeed, Blink for the Sand King, but at the same time, Blink is complete for DDC's Lion.
Plus 90 damage.
Talking about damage, the overall outgoing damage statistics here showing no surprises. Of course, Zeus, Iceberg at the top of his team. But as a whole, Freeze at the top of it all, and just generally across the board, VGJ.Thunder's lineup being able to do a little bit more damage as the Hex catches out the Sand King. Now FlyToMoon, they've got to think really carefully about if they really want to stick around with this fight. It's non-grata, he's out of mana. As always want to fly, chase down here by Psylocke into the base.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, pipe is there.
Psylocke, he wants to sunder someone. Oh, he sunders Yang. He says, that's my health. Yang, off you go.
He was gonna go in.
And now they're just diving in.
But the Tide was gonna run in and tank. And then...
There we go. Underneath tier 4s, ready for the second round onto Silent.
Wow, okay.
Non-grata's trying to do his best to keep them alive, but Yang comes in with the Ravage. FlyToMoon, fly to base.
What happened to the objective gaming?
I mean, they'll go back for it now. You know, it's like they've got a sort of bored of beating down FlyToMoon. Oh no, they haven't. I kid. They're straight back in. They want more kills. They want more glory. They want more action. Oh, missed coil. He's gonna live. Always want to fly there. Saved by non-gratter. By the skin of his teeth. VGJ.Thunder. They'll take the tier 3 tower bottom. Oh, they want Yang. Yang does have the pipe available.
Okay, they have to win a fight right now. They have a chance.
But DDC's in straight away with the finger.
Epicenter coming soon.
Oh.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Do.
Oh! It didn't do anything. Oh, maybe. Oh, it did. Sylar's dead. And Grana's got a double kill, but Iceberg falls. They've got the stun onto Freeze. FlyToMoon.
Comeback?
Maybe.
Okay, how much did they get from that fight? Like 5K?
I mean, they didn't lose any racks. So
oh, it's 3,000 gold swing.
They didn't lose any racks, Winter. They've still got the whole base.
There is a chance.
There is a chance if VGJ.Thunder are going to dive like that.
They could have finished the racks.
They didn't want it. They wanted to play. They wanted to go for kills.
So let's see if it's going to come back and haunt them.
That would really be quite something. That really would. Let's see, down bottom. Jumping in. They know that his reincarnate is still on cooldown.
No, they forgot.
Oh, it's just lucky. And this is a high skilled player. As that is going to be silent, dead for 50 seconds. And as a mech has also been picked up by Yang, so building up those auras and those buffs to really help push his team up to the high ground and look for those game-ending sieges.
Maybe the Prophet should buy another pipe.
I mean, it's not bad to have 2 pipes against this lineup. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think I kind of like it. Well, what is the damage if there's 2 pipes? Like the Zeus and the Sand King was pretty much what was killing the enemy team. Brave King doesn't do much. I guess with the Blade Meal, maybe he does something with that.
Oh! Look at that foul.
They found the Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King is the Sand King.
Sand King's a Scorpion. No.
I mean, is he? I guess he is. I mean, I guess the Scorpion is technically a king of the sand. Top. Let's see what they got here. Lion. DDC will die. There'll be a buyback from No Fear. They're going in on this one, trying to hold back VGJ.Thunder. Can they get away with it? They're looking to burst down. And with the epicenter, they might just do it onto Sylar. They've got him. They've killed off Sylar. Freeze will find 2 of them as he pops the reincarnate, and he does get the kill onto Iceberg, but they're striking back FlyToMoon as they surround Freeze, take him down. I mean, well, now the TP's coming top. They're looking to see if they can catch out Fade. Can they close the gap, though? I don't think so.
Tide did not have mana for mech. Can't save his body there. So this is getting really sloppy. You kind of expect the game to be, you know, closed up cleanly by VGJ. But, okay, that's a dieback.
Oh, No Fear. Nice 2-man start, but no sort of follow. Indeed, that is Iceberg dead for 70 seconds, pretty much. After buying back in that last defense, as FlyToMoon did, of course, lose the melee racks.
Well, Brave King is going to have Blink. I think he's going to be useful in the team fights right now. Jump, kill the Lion first, get to the supports. I mean, I feel like this Terrible just buys a BKB and he doesn't die in the fights. He's going for Skadi.
I mean, maybe he feels confident in the sort of the pipe and mech from his Tidehunter to sort of keep him alive.
I guess so, but he didn't have mana in the last fight, so yeah.
No, that's true. He did not get out his full sort of saving combo. But he's got a better chance of doing so now. He's got the full out Greaves. Yang. We'll see what the plan is indeed from Thunders. They look to play a bit more passive now, as it seems. They're farming up.
Why? They have this kind of lead. They should just go end the game.
I mean, as you say, any sort of length that's added to this game is going to give more and more chance for Silent to maybe get to that point where
the Zeus is the key.
Do something big.
The Zeus is the key, I feel, more than the Silent Wraith King.
Okay.
He is going to be the one that might turn the game around, or maybe the Abaddon with his Radiance. I think he was queuing Radiance.
Yeah, he's nearly got it. He's nearly got it on
Yeah,
non-grafter.
this is actually like, this is not good, you know. This is not like a clean game from VGJ.Thunder. They have this kind of commanding lead, and they're not closing out the game. Like even if they win this game, you know, but it's sloppy, it might affect their confidence going into the tournament. So it's not good having this kind of stuff happen in the games that you have such a big lead. They're gonna smoke in No Fear, might be the target.
Straight away onto the Zeus, they're going to burst him. They've got the finger, the stun. Can they kill him off? They can. They've taken down Iceberg. Now with the focus on to always want to fly. Silent with the right click finds the kill. He's falling low, but he gets the Sunder off. Back up to full on the Terrorblade. Non-Grada's looking towards Yang, but Yang now with the level 20, that extra Kraken Shell block, taking no damage whatsoever. You'll see No Fear come in with the Epicenter trying to finish off Freeze, but it is not enough. As 3 dead on FlyToMoon, Silent and No Fear having to go back to the fountain, and now VGJ.Thunder will look to turn, take the objectives, take the racks, and look towards the tier 4s. And finally, their attempt to end this game 3 and take the series. Buyback will come out. Crom always want to fly to get the 2-man stun off, but still at a 34k net worth deficit. Very hard for FlyToMoon to achieve anything in terms of trying to stop this push and fight from VGJ.Thunder. As they lose Silent, they will lose No Fear as well. As Iceberg trying to come out of the base, but GG is finally called as VGJ.Thunder will take the first series here in this group, 2-1 against FlyToMoon.
Much better performance after the first game, I'd say, but still sloppy at times.
You think, you know, we're going to need to see what VGJ.Thunder continues to step it up just a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean,
this game 3 looked very clean. As you said, maybe they played it a little safer than they needed to, but they did play it safe, and they, as we saw in this game 2 and the game 3, proved to just be on a bit of a different level to FlyToMoon.
Yeah, I agree to that. I think much better performance from them compared to the first game, definitely. But if they want to, like, I think win the whole, I think they're probably, you can say they are the favorites here. I mean, everyone's
it's hard.
It's close, you know.
It's, as you say, well, between them, Optic, Fnatic.
Yeah, but they are the team that has the most DPC points. They are top 8.
Sure.
So I think based on that, they're the strongest team, quote-unquote, here. But if they want to win the event, they're definitely going to have to play much cleaner, because I think that everyone is close. Optic could definitely take a game, take a series of them. Fnatic, those are teams that even Kinguin could be a team that.
No, Kinguin's definitely a bit of a wild card that can't really show up against some of these top teams because they've had the experience. We have seen Kinguin at a few lands now.
If you play like a bad series, you could lose to Kinguin. So.
Oh jeez, I mean that's a bit.
What's wrong?
I mean, I guess you're technically not wrong, but I mean, you're sort of you could still lose to Kinguin if you play a good series. Now, Kinguin are not a bad team.
Oh yeah, I worded it wrongly. Sorry.
Yeah, it sounded like you were saying you're only going to lose to Kinguin if you play bad, which is I think it's a little unfair.
No, that was my bad. I didn't mean
That's
that.
all right. I know you did. I got your win. Don't worry.
Thanks, Owen.
But so yeah, this first series over done. We'll see, of course, VGJ.Thunder again later on today in the 3rd match, where they'll play against the winner of our next series, which we're going to have here. But as we can see, Iceberg, some stern words, it looks like, there with his teammates. They will, of course, get another chance. These are double elimination groups in this GSL format, so we will see another showing from them. FlyToMoon.
Yeah, I would say like this game is the game where I would point at the draft mostly.
Okay.
Like in the first 2 games, I mentioned to you that even the draft could be adjusted, it could be improved, but it was more towards about the play, you know, the play has to come first, then you discuss about the draft. But this game it's really hard to look at the plays. I mean, they didn't really play that bad. I felt like it was just like the draft limit, having a lot of limitations. It was really difficult for them.
Well, we'll see how they do step it up, both teams, as I say, as we will see their journeys continue here at the StarLadder ImbaTV tournament. But for now, we'll pass you back to the panels as this series ends 2-1 in favor of VGJ.Thunder.
Indeed, they are in the upper bracket of their group now, Group A. is where they're in. Don't worry though, FlyToMoon will have still got at least one series ahead of them in the lower bracket, but that won't be played until Saturday. So they have a day to reflect on what went wrong here. But we can already do that right now. We don't have to wait until Saturday, because what did go wrong for FlyToMoon? It seemed like they were in that third game outclassed Tsunami.
Yeah, there's no crying in baseball and there's no fun in Dota, and they were trying to have fun. And VGJ.Thunder were trying to have fun at the end also, and you saw
it. And they almost allowed
Can't do that.
Small hope for a comeback.
Can't be having fun.
Can't be having fun here.
No, and the draft was leaning towards comfort for FlyToMoon. They had a formerly 100% win rate Rubik.
Yep.
They had the signature Iceberg Zeus, but it was an outdraft. The Tidehunter was too difficult for the Wraith King to deal with, even though like all these pocket picks were whipped out. VGJ.Thunder were already prepared.
Yeah. I think Tide Nature's Prophet's like one of the probably scariest like off lanes right now, with just how good the two heroes synergize with Gush. Now that Tides are learning to level that up a lot more, and yeah, Wraith King is not really a very viable hero at the moment. It feels like.
I thought Zeus was supposed to win mid lane harder than what he did.
No, I think the hero just doesn't do enough damage to zone TB out of the lane early on. And the biggest issue I think why Zeus doesn't win mid lane as much as he used to is the bottle changes. So you don't really, didn't see Diego bottle or Soul Ring that game.
I don't remember.
Don't know what he did, but basically when mid lane's not getting bottles much anymore because the regen's a lot less. Bottle Crow's no longer a thing. So. Zeus will run out of mana. You only can sustain your mana if you have clarities, and TB has, if you want, you can level up Reflection, take away clarities. So, as Winter kind of said during the cast, it's a 50-50 lane. They're both going to farm. Zeus will farm, TB will farm. Zeus counters TB later on, but they never got to the later on. They were so far behind that they didn't get to use that Zeus versus TB matchup.
What was supposed to be their peak timing for FlyToMoon? What was their plan?
So I would say make sure Iceberg gets an early Veil. Wraith King does not get bopped in the safe lane. So I said either Abaddon or Wraith King needs to get a Radiance. And ideally, I think Wraith King would have been the more viable candidate. That was not happening in that lane.
Nope.
And FlyToMoon were not keen on rotating the lanes also. Wraith King was adamant about staying in that top lane, and Abaddon was constantly lingering in the bot lane. And so things were stagnant. Neither of those cores were able to find any farm, and Iceberg Zeus wasn't able to pick up the pace like in game one where Silent was kind of bridging the gap.
Yeah.
Wasn't the case with Iceberg Zeus.
When you have the cores like Abaddon in the offlane and Zeus in the mid lane, your lanes have to go well because you don't have rotation potential. I mean, you mentioned that the Abaddon was stagnant, the Zeus is kind of stagnant. It's because those heroes, that's what they do. They go to their lane, they farm. So the supports had to win them the lanes, which is a lot to ask. It's not going to happen every game. Some games it's just you don't have the heroes for it. Against a Tide Nature's Prophet, I think their only real option was to full-on tri-lane with the Sand King up top. They got the first blood on the Nature's Prophet. This is, it's like, this is where you're like, oh, this might go okay, we've secured the top lane, but securing the top lane isn't getting one kill. You had to keep the Sand King up there, I think, for the first 5 minutes of the game. I think you actually had to not let Tide Nature's Prophet get anything this game.
Yeah, it seemed like Nature's Prophet was more of a decoy because in game 2, FlyToMoon's Nature's Prophet got shut down really hard and they couldn't do anything. And they're like, oh, maybe we should do the same thing. But then Yang was quietly farming away on this Tidehunter and you're like, you can keep killing my Nature's Prophet. I don't really care about him.
Yeah, and suddenly Tide has a hood and he's just unkillable at this stage of the game where this Wraith King is very sad because he's got some magic damage to go for a kill, but Tide is not going to go down. And draft pick-wise, it's just such a disaster for them this game.
Yeah, and DDC was playing with anger this game. This is like the most aggressive I've ever seen DDC play before. But he was able to get away with it.
He was like blinking into 4 or 5 heroes.
Yeah, that one time he had a haste rune and he was like lingering around in the mid lane around like 4 dire heroes, but it just didn't really matter.
You don't mind the blink dagger on the line this time?
If you have this kind of start, then I say go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit too YOLO at times, but didn't really matter. We saw even Sylar, very questionable Sunder on the Lion, very questionable high ground plays where he's diving and dying. Didn't go BKB, which is a bit odd. I think he's just so far ahead, it doesn't matter, but...
Yeah, Winter was right in saying that it was sloppy, but like, I can see why they were doing these kinds of plays. You have this kind of lead, like... it's not necessary, but it's not fun to play the conservative time.
Oh, yeah. This isn't the kind of sloppy where you go like, oh, I'm worried my team didn't close out this game as fast and efficiently as they should have going to the next year. I think it's just like, some games you just feel and you know you've won.
Yeah.
This was kind of one of those.
Yeah, overall, I mean, again, VGJ.Thunder, the first game that we saw of them today, it felt like maybe that was just you know, a wake-up call that they needed. They just have been playing like they should, I feel like, in these last 2 games. And they look dominant. They are the favorites, I think, in this group to do well.
Yeah.
Yep. They went back to much more standard drafts. They had pushing with the Nature's Prophet and the Terrorblade, something they lacked in game 1. And they didn't have that hero on the other side that they didn't have a way of dealing with in the Tree and Protector. I mean, they probably haven't versed much Zeus or Wraith King, but I also don't think those are really like weird out there heroes that are hard to verse. Like it's kind of, you know what to expect from a Zeus, and same thing with a Wraith King.
Yeah, in both the games that Thunder won, they find the most success whenever they have a damage sponge frontliner. In game 2, it was that Abaddon, the Night Stalker that ended up getting a lot of farm, and in game 3 they had the Tidehunter, but in game 1 they didn't really have anything. It was Sylar Tiny who was soaking up all the damage, and that's not where VGJ.Thunder shines best.
Great performance all around. It was a one-sided game, this this third game, and I would even say that even though it lasted a little bit longer than the second game, it felt like it was over faster.
Right.
Yeah, there was. I mean, the damage stats kind of showed there's only one hero on FlyToMoon's team in the top 5, and I think when they showed it during the game, Lion was number 6. So Lion had more damage than the Wraith King. So
scary.
No one outside of the Zeus was able to really dish any damage or really have much of an impact. Even the Zeus, I don't really feel like had a big impact. I mean, he cast spells, he has damage, of course, but he wasn't really winning the team the game like Iceberg often does.
Were there any towers down on the side of VGJ?
I don't think so.
No.
I'd be surprised. Zeus is not a pushing hero. Wraith King's not a pushing hero. They did not have a lineup that
I think they crossed the river
lanes.
like once in the entire game.
Oh, our computers
Fade. Wow.
to,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess he takes kill participation in mind as well.
That's a good call.
It's you know, it's a tricky.
He did more damage. Last game I think he only had like 13% damage impact, so he's up in his damage output.
Yeah.
But 500 GPM on a 4-position Nature's Prophet. That's not too bad.
It's pretty good.
Who's your MVP, Tsunami?
I would give it to DDC actually, mainly because I think that super aggressive Lion kind of threw Iceberg and company off, because normally DDC is just sitting in the back doing nothing, but here you've got a Lion going around. And a lot of times they were like, Wraith King was like, I gotta kill this Lion. And since when have FlyToMoon ever really cared about killing 5 positions that much? Usually they're more interested in killing like the Death Prophets in the previous game and stuff like that, but here they were like, oh god, it's Lion, he's blinking and we gotta do something.
Yeah, it worked out great, and overall I think VGJ.Thunder, this is the play that we were expecting. They look good going forward. They go up against either Optic or Kingwin. What are your initial thoughts on who they're gonna face? I
won't be as ruthless as Winter, but I do think that Optic is the favorites in that series. Kingwin have, it's a bit rude, I guess, to say this, but
Kingwin has been to more DPC events than Optic.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Well, the main reason
earlier in the season, though.
Yeah, the main reason
they both been to Summit.
Yes, that was Kingwin's like coming out party, but like the main reason that they're here is because OG were at Dream League during the qualifier for this tournament, and OG has been consistently gatekeeping the hell out of Europe. And usually it's just one Europe slot. So the reason that Kingwin had gone to Bucharest was because there were 2 Europe slots, and OG and Kingwin both went to that one.
They both went to Katowice as well.
Right. And I think there were 2 Europe slots there. And so for the most part, OG has been putting a stop to any other EUs like the Mad Lads, Kingwin. Penta isn't really around anymore.
Yeah, Final Tribe.
Final Tribe, yeah, exactly.
What about Optic though? They haven't made it. What's their excuse to not make it to more? We could talk all about that later.
No excuse.
No excuse.
Any region is not a scary region right now, I'll tell you that.
Well, we are going to talk more about that series very soon. That will be our second series upcoming here for the StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational. We'll take a short break. We'll be back.